if you put 10 people in a room, let's just say hypothetically, you put 10 people in a room and you asked each person, maybe in a group, maybe individually, if they understood what love is, if they thought that love had a definition, or if they thought that love is a mystery, how many people out of those 10 people would you think would say they understand it, and how many people do you think would say that it's a mystery? I know for me that I would definitely be one of those people that says love is a mystery. I can't comprehend it, I don't understand it, it doesn't make any sense to me. And maybe you're thinking, maybe you hear me say that and you're thinking like, wait, you don't understand it at all? And understand it a little bit. I mean, our world that we live in understands it on a very surface level context. That's just our culture that we live in today, because everything's so surface level, and so love has become surface level. On the surface level, we might maybe understand a small piece of it, but once you go deeper, you can't understand it. And one of these things that has convinced me that love is a mystery, that is it's just something else. I can't even put it into words. I don't know how. I don't know how to. I don't know a definition for it. It's a mystery is what it is. And the thing that led me to that point was really coming to this realization, feeling like in some way I saw some sort of light, that love is not a feeling. It's the furthest thing from a feeling. And maybe some of you disagree with that. Maybe you're like, no, love is a feeling. Okay, well, let me ask you some questions then. So let's say you have a relationship with this person, and whatever that relationship is, I don't know. But let's just say you have a relationship with that person, and being with that person, you feel loved. I hear a lot of people saying that. That's a common saying. I feel loved. They make me feel loved. So when you're with that person, examine what exactly it is that you say, this makes me feel loved. Because really, if you think about it, when you're with that person, what you feel is peace, or what you feel is comfort, or you feel happy or even joyful. I would say happy, and that's a whole nother video between the difference between joy and happiness. It's two different worlds. But maybe that person makes you feel like you're understood. Maybe you feel heard with that person. But feeling loved, once you say that, once you say, I feel loved with that person, and you're talking in the context of, they make me feel at peace, they make me feel joy, they make me feel, they were kind, they did an act of service to me, and I felt, worthy, or I felt enough when they said this or did this, then that's all good emotion. That's all emotion that you can, on a side of good versus, evil, or good emotions and sad or whatever. All of those are really on the side of good. But once you take into account a situation that, granted, this situation is extreme, but it can happen, it has happened, it does happen, where there is somebody, and like I said, this is going extreme, so there could be a smaller level of this, but hang in there with me. So theoretically, a man is pointing a gun at a boy, and he's getting ready to pull the trigger, but his father jumps in front of him, or his friend jumps in front of him and takes the bullet. Would you call that love? I think we would. I think we would call that love. But for the person that jumped in front of the bullet, which is why we could say that is an act of love, do you think in that moment they felt peace, they felt joy, they felt happiness, they felt understood, they felt any of those things that I just mentioned? No, they probably felt a lot of pain. They probably felt a lot of grief. They probably felt a lot of something else other than, this makes me so happy. Like, I doubt that there was a massive smile on their face if they jumped in front of that gun. But regardless, that was an act of love, which goes back to what I was saying in the first video, that love is an action. But in this situation, if you were to look at that and say that that is an act of love, of course he wasn't feeling any of those good feelings, but he still did that. So if you're going to say that that was an act of love, Now look at love in that sense, and then look at love in the sense that most people say, I felt so loved. Well, the true act of love that we just talked about was, you could even call it that. You could call it a true act of love versus somebody who is just feeling love. The feeling of love is, it feels good. I guess you could put it that way. And then that act of love doesn't feel good. So if love is not just this bundle of all feelings that are good. Saying that is like saying that black or white is a color, and scientifically, physics does not acknowledge black or white being a color. Black is the absence of color, and white captures every wavelength of light, and so it's just all of the light. And even just saying that speaks about the surface level of people looking at black and white and saying, I like the colors black and white, versus looking at a deeper meaning of it, like a scientific meaning, and seeing that, wow, they're not at all colors because of a deeper meaning behind that. I feel it's the same way for love. There's this deeper meaning that our culture, our society, they look at this thing of love and they think it's just this feeling, but it is not. It is so much more. I actually had one of my mentors one time tell me, the most powerful force in the universe is love. And some of you are like, that's just crazy. Maybe some of you believe that. Maybe some of you are like, that's insane. But if you really think about it, I'm talking about really sitting down and meditating and pondering on this. There is truth to that statement. There is truth to that statement. I would even borderline almost say that statement is fully 100% true. Because it's so powerful. Why else would almost every song that we listen to, a majority of the songs that were written, a majority of the movies that we see, all of the arts, businesses, there's charity organizations, like why else would people want to become doctors? Why else would people want to become teachers? It's because they love doing it. It's not always fun. It's not always a feel-good feeling, but there's something from it where they feel like, and this is why I do what I do. This is why everyone is trying to find their purpose in the world. They want to make a difference. They want to love people. They want to, and it's not this feel-good thing that's going on. And even right now, like, I'm having trouble with my words. I'm having trouble explaining this because I really don't have an explanation for it. I just know that there is something more to this thing that we talk about every single day, this word that we use every single day, and it's this thing called love, but we don't understand it, and we have barely scratched the surface. And the one thing that it is not, that love is not, is an emotion. And some of you might even be thinking of, well, there's science behind it. And I have looked into the neuroscience of emotion, and part of some of the core emotions, one of them is not love. It's been under debate of whether love should be added to it, but as neuroscientists look at this, love, as I was saying, is a combination of emotions. It's not this core emotion. Just like I said, you can't call love an emotion any more than you can call black or white a color. It just doesn't work. And you might point to science, and you might say that there's this other reason, and you might have your other theories for it, but quite honestly, I just don't buy it. I don't buy it. There's something deeper, there's something more, and you can call it what you want. But if you get anything from this video, I would just encourage you, don't take love at surface level. Look deeper, because it goes deeper. And the people that really think they understand it, they just scratch the surface. I've just barely scratched the surface. Accept it as a mystery. Accept it as something that you don't understand. Accept it as an action more than a feeling. I know my life has been changed by coming to that realization. And it's totally changed the way that I live, the way that I act, the way that I wake up in the morning. Completely changed. And I think that it can do the same for you. And let me know what you think in the comments about this video, because I have thought about this for years, and I've wanted to make this video for a long time, and I'm so confident, but I'm glad that I'm making this video, because if there is some of you who don't agree with it, I want to have this conversation, because I've reached a point in my head where I'm like, I know that this is a mystery. I know that there's something deeper, that our society is making it so surface level, but it goes so much deeper than what we realize. Love is a mystery. Yeah. So if you like this video, hit like, subscribe, and share. I got new videos coming out every week. Right now, I am doing this series on love, and this is the second video. I have a lot more videos coming out on this topic, so make sure you hit that bell so you get notified every time that I put out a video. And one thing that I've been working on a lot recently, which is why I haven't been putting out as many cover videos, I've actually been working on my original music. And if you want to hear what I have so far, I'm on Spotify, I'm on iTunes, I'm on all streaming platforms, and my artist name is Nation Haven, so be sure to check that out. I've been writing a ton lately, and I'm really just super excited about the things that I've been coming up with, because I finally feel like I'm reaching my sound. And if you want to support this channel, if you like everything that you've seen, everything that you've heard, because I make all the music for this and I do all the videos and everything, be sure to check out my Patreon page. I got daily vlogs, I got more music, I got a whole bunch of other stuff on there, so check it out. And as always, I will see you misfits later. Peace.